up, fellow movie buffs and film connoisseurs? It is your self-proclaimed cinema shogun here, and I think we can all agree that live-action anime movies usually suck balls. But I'm of the belief that if you get someone that actually cares about the anime, actually cares about the manga, actually cares about the property, and you give them a Hollywood-level budget, I think they could be good. I think they could be great. I think they can replace the modern superhero film, because I feel like we're heading into a time of a little bit of superhero fatigue. And as someone right now who has a finger on the pulse of the pop culture community, you can witness the shift. I mean, comic sales are down drastically while manga sales are through the roof. When you go to Comic Cons, everyone's dressing up as anime characters now. You rarely even see the DC and Marvel characters out and about. And I feel like DC and Marvel have been pushing a lot of agendas in their comics that's caused a lot of their fans to leave. Also, the movies now. MCU is going on to making movies about Ironheart and Miss Marvel and random side tier characters that really weren't even ever popular, who have just recently kind of, been pushed into the forefront of Marvel. And you got your Captain Americas and your normal Iron Mans and things like that all out of the MCU. So I feel like there's a little bit of fatigue there. Not to mention that the DC movies have not been that great, and they have not been doing that well in the box office. And I also get the feeling that the way that the world is working right now and everything, all the chaos that's going on, I don't know if Hollywood can sustain these big budget comic book films anymore, because I don't know if enough people are going to be going to the movie theaters to see them. Like, can you really justify making a $400 million movie, almost $1 billion movie with advertising and everything like that, if you're not going to get those returns at the box office? So I feel like this is the time that anime, live action adaptations of anime can really capitalize. I reported a couple of weeks ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, I think it was about a week and a half ago, that they just announced a director for the live action My Hero Academia movie. And I feel like that could be great. As someone who actually appreciated the Pokemon movie that came, Detective Pikachu, that came out not too long ago, that same team is supposed to be working on that film. And I got high expectations for it. And now, after all this time, we knew that there was going to be a Cowboy Bebop live action series, and today we're getting our first look at it. And I gotta admit, y'all, this looks great. This doesn't just look good. This looks great. Everything I'm seeing here is like spot on. Listen, when they announced a live action Cowboy Bebop, I was like, oh man, they're gonna ruin this. But it seems like more of an anime like that you could easily adapt to live action. I don't want to say easily, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit easier to adapt than maybe something like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or something like that. So they announced John Cho was playing Spike Spiegel, and of course I know John Cho from White Castle, Harold and Kumar, and it was kind of hard for me to I don't know. I like John Cho, don't get me wrong. I love John Cho, but I was like, can I really view him as Spike? And then I saw this picture on Twitter today, right when I woke up. And if this doesn't look like Spike, if this doesn't look like he's got the attitude, he's got the pose down pat, he's got the stance, like, come on, y'all, this looks good. This looks better than I can imagine, or I could have imagined, and I am really pleased with this. Now, the photo right here of them all sitting on the couch really catches the vibe of the anime. You got Jet Black, you got Spike Spiegel, you got, oh my gosh, it looks so good. It really looks so good. Looking through all of these photos, I can't complain at all. This looks better than I could have imagined. Now in this photo, it looks like we're getting a look at the ship. So they are on the ship. If you don't know what Cowboy Bebop is, it's kind of like a space cowboy. It's a dude on a ship. He goes on different missions, gets little contracts to do certain things, and it's always been more of like a grounded anime that takes place in space, like a sci-fi, type of movie. But it's really grounded. It's really grounded as far as animes go. Like there's not. I don't know how to explain it, but saying that a space opera, this guy who kind of acts like a cowboy, has this attitude that's going through space on a spaceship, fighting people and taking over other spaceships and doing, missions like a bounty hunter and different things like that. It's weird saying that's grounded, but as far as anime goes, it's pretty grounded. It's more grounded than Star Wars or Star Trek. It's 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 like a nitty gritty Star Wars almost, I guess you could say, without all the advanced weaponry as much and stuff like that. But yeah, this shows right here, it looks like he's on a ship, so I'm happy about that. They got Jet Black looking right. I believe this dude that's playing Jet Black is Mustafa Shakir. If I'm not mistaken, he was on the Luke Cage show, so that's cool. And they also got Daniela Pineda, which is Faye Valentine, and she looks good as well. So I don't want to get overhyped for this because it always happens. I get my hopes up, and then they're just crushed. And this is Netflix, and Netflix puts some good stuff out. I'm not going to hold my nuts on them. They put some good stuff out sometimes, but also you get a lot of trash with Netflix. But I feel like Netflix, I feel like they give creators a freedom, to do what they want to do, and they don't hold back on the budget, too often. Like, they're not stingy with it. So I feel like this show is going to have the budget, and I feel like the people who made this show are going to have the creative freedom to do what they want. So I don't think that if this show is bad, that the blame will fall on Netflix. The blame will fall on the creators, because Netflix usually gives free reign. They don't interfere much. But just looking at the vibe of this, it looks like the writers and directors and everything knew what they were doing. This doesn't read to me like something that's been tampered with by the studio. This looks to me like someone who, like the anime, is making this. Because there's just little aspects of it, and I know it's just in photo and we're not seeing the live action, but even just seeing them sitting on this couch, and really it's just, honestly, the way John Cho is selling this. John Cho is hitting like all the right angles, all the right looks in these photos to make me feel like this is Spike Spiegel. And that's what I'm most happy about. And everyone else looks great too, don't get me wrong, but man, if this doesn't look like the attitude of Spike, then what does? And if I'm thinking of a live action Spike, this is top tier. This is top tier. It doesn't just look like John Cho in cosplay. It looks dope. And then when we see this scene, he's walking away. Looks like he's in a church. He's kind of bloody, hair a little disheveled. I am ready to see John Cho kick ass. I don't care what anyone says. From Harold and Kumar to freaking Cowboy Bebop. Like, the come up is real. And, he hasn't been in many movies and things like that. Although I did watch him in one movie. I think he was, like, looking for his daughter online. It was some weird, crazy type of Taken type of film. But this is, whoa. Now, I know it's going to be a series, but we've heard about this for years. Like, literally, I think I heard about this, 4 years ago. But it's coming out on November 19th. So it is right around the corner. We got, 2 months of waiting. I don't know how many episodes is going to be in it, but I know that it's a Netflix show, so they're just going to drop them all at once. We're not going to be waiting week for week for this, so get ready to binge. If you're a Cowboy Bebop fan, get ready to binge. But also, if you're someone who's never watched Cowboy Bebop, then you got some time. This comes out in November. You got some time to watch the anime. I would suggest watching it. If you don't finish it, cool, but watching some of the anime before you go into the live action, because then you can really get a feel of okay, did they really handle this well? But if you're someone who's going to go in blindly, never have watched the anime, then I guess that's cool too. I mean, I guess that won't tamper with your viewing experience as much. So, I mean, it's a double-sided coin there, but I feel like advantages to both. So I feel like this show is going to appeal to a lot of people. And if done correctly, like I said with My Hero Academia movie news, if done correctly, this is one more step forward for anime and manga taking over, because I think that the time of the superhero movie is coming to a close soon. I honestly think it's coming to an end soon, unless they do something drastic. I think it's slowing down. But I don't think it's going to be a drastic change from, straight up comic book superhero movies to something like totally different. I think it's going to be to something kind of related. It's going to go into manga and anime movies. So hopefully we get to see more of them, but more of them done correctly. Now looking at this gives me a little bit even more hope for the last Airbender show that's coming out and everything like that. But that's a story for another day. Overall, happy about all these photos. Really excited for the show. Everything looks great, but I want to know your opinion. Surely you have one, and all opinions are welcome on this channel, so leave one down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and as always, find some time out of your day to try and go watch Cowboy Bebop.